The second I parked my brand new Rolls-Royce Ghost in the driveway of my first home, I knew I had an audience. I hadn't even turned off the engine when I spotted her in the rearview mirror, a middle-aged woman with a severe platinum bob, oversized sunglasses, and the stride of someone who just decided she was the main character of my day. She marched straight across Willow Ridge Court, pastel cardigan flapping like a cape. Her scowl was locked in place long before she reached my front bumper. "Excuse me," she barked, loud enough to rattle my tinted windows. I killed the engine, grabbed my keys, and stepped out calmly. "Good afternoon. Can I help you?" She glared at my car, then at me, from my sneakers to my casual button-up, and back at the car. "Who are you, and what are you doing with this vehicle?" I forced a smile. "My name's Ethan Lynn. I'm the new owner of 156 Willow Ridge Court. Just moving in today." Her lips curled as if I told her I was Santa Claus. She crossed her arms and scoffed. "That's impossible. The Morizes sold this house to a young professional. You look like you barely finished high school." "I'm 21, actually," I said, fighting to keep my tone polite. "And yes, I bought the Morris place last month. Closing finalized on Monday." She stalked a tight circle around my Rolls-Royce, eyes glinting with suspicion. "Nobody your age can afford this car unless it's stolen. I'm calling the police. We don't tolerate criminals in Willow Ridge Estates." Before I could get out another word, she whipped out her phone and punched in 911 like she was detonating a bomb. She didn't look away from me once, her eyes locked on mine, daring me to run. I leaned back against the hood and took a slow breath. I'd faced enough skepticism for my age before. Being a 21-year-old CEO whose tech startup got bought for 8 figures made me an anomaly. Apparently, it made me a suspect too. "Yes, officer," she was saying, her voice pitched to carry across the whole cul-de-sac. "There's a suspicious young man in front of 156 Willow Ridge Court driving a stolen Rolls-Royce. I believe this is a grand theft auto situation. Please send units immediately before he takes off." I sighed, pulled out my phone, and texted my assistant. "Delay movers 30 minutes. Neighborhood drama." When she ended her call, she flashed a tight, victorious grin. "The police will be here any minute. I suggest you don't try to leave." I almost laughed. "Ma'am, I'm not going anywhere. This is my home, my car. But I don't think you told me your name." She straightened her shoulders, chin high. "Paula Denton, president of the Willow Ridge Homeowners Association for the last 7 years. And you do not look like a resident of this community." Of course her name was Paula. The universe had a twisted sense of humor. "Well, Ms. Denton, I can show you my ID, the deed to the house, or my car registration, whichever you'd like first." She waved a dismissive hand, refusing to even glance at my outstretched driver's license. "I've seen fake IDs before. The Willow Ridge HOA vets all new residents thoroughly. And I never approved anyone like you." I felt her pause on the word like. Her gaze flicked from my youthful face to my tanned skin. "Oh, so it wasn't just about my age. The HOA doesn't approve who buys a house, Ms. Denton. That's not how real estate works." The Morizes accepted my offer. The bank cleared my funding. The deal closed legally. Her cheeks flushed crimson. "We'll see about that. And that car. No 21-year-old drives a Rolls-Royce unless they hacked a bank account or they're laundering money." She stormed around the car, snapping pictures from every angle, license plate included. A few neighbors peeked through curtains and half-open doors. Paula seemed to soak up their attention like a spotlight. "I've seen this before," she declared, raising her phone like a sword. "Young man appears overnight with flashy cars and suspicious cash. Next thing you know, there's drugs, parties, and crime in our peaceful community. Not on my watch." I popped open the glove box, pulled out my registration and insurance, and held them out. "Look, Ms. Denton, I'm a software entrepreneur. My company was acquired last December. The car's legally mine. Registered 3 months ago at Elite Motors, Beverly Hills. Happy to show you everything." She didn't even look. "You think I'm a fool? My nephew works cybersecurity at the state police. He says criminals forge documents all the time." Just then, 2 black and white patrol cars glided into the cul-de-sac. Their lights washed over my silver Rolls-Royce like a bad omen. Paula transformed instantly from vigilante to victim. She clutched her cardigan like she was fainting at a Jane Austen ball. "Officers, thank goodness you're here," she wailed, nearly tripping over her own feet to greet them. "This young man is trying to steal a luxury vehicle and trespass in this home. I'm the HOA president. I know everyone who belongs here. The older cop, mustache, broad shoulders, that seen-it-all posture, looked at me first. "Sir, we got a call about a possible stolen car. Can I see your license and registration, please?" "Absolutely, officer." I handed over the documents I'd offered Paula 15 minutes ago. "Name's Ethan Lynn. I just closed on this house. Was moving in when Ms. Denton decided I didn't belong." The younger cop flipped through my paperwork, tapping at his tablet. Paula hovered at his shoulder like a mosquito. "Check it carefully. He's obviously forged it. He's not one of us. He's too young to own a car like that." The older cop raised a palm. "Ma'am, please step back while we verify this." The younger cop turned to his partner and spoke low, but I caught every word. "Registration matches. Insurance valid. House deed recorded with the county last week. No red flags." Paula heard it too. Her neck snapped toward him. "That's impossible. He must have hacked something. Young men like him don't drive Rolls-Royces unless something dirty is going on." The older officer's eyes narrowed. "Ma'am, what do you mean by young men like him?" She hesitated, then bristled. "His type. Kids who come in flashing money they didn't earn. Next thing you know, we're all on the news." Before the officer could respond, a neighbor shuffled up, gray hair, golf polo, phone in hand. He gave me a discreet nod, then showed the officer his screen. "Officers, I'm Mr. Thomas, from across the street." My doorbell cam caught everything. She threatened him the second he arrived. She said, and I quote, "I'll have him out of here if it's the last thing I do. We don't need his kind lowering our values. I'll email you the footage." Paula's face turned ashen. "That's taken out of context. I was protecting our standards." The older officer handed me back my documents. His voice was polite, but colder than before. "Mr. Lynn, everything's in order. Sorry for the inconvenience. You're free to finish moving in." Then he pivoted to Paula. "Ms. Denton, can I speak with you over here, please?" She tried to laugh. "Of course, officer. See, it's just a big misunderstanding." He didn't smile back. I watched them talk off to the side. Her gestures grew wilder. She pointed at me, then at the car, then at the slowly gathering neighbors. But the officer's body language stayed calm and immovable. He finally pulled out a notepad and started writing. Paula's voice ratcheted up a full octave. "You can't be serious. I was protecting our neighborhood. I'm the HOA president. This is harassment." Then I heard it. "Paula Denton, you're being placed under arrest for filing a false police report and harassment with discriminatory intent." Her shriek was a banshee's wail. "This is an outrage. I'm the victim here. This is reverse discrimination. I demand you call my lawyer." The younger officer stood by me, apologizing again while his partner gently but firmly read her rights and guided her, flailing, into the back of the squad car. I looked around. Half the street was out now, phones out, mouths hanging open. But for once, the whispers weren't about me. They were about her. A week later, a tidy envelope appeared in my mailbox. Willow Ridge Estates HOA official letterhead. I read it twice to make sure I hadn't dreamed it. Effective immediately, MS. Paula Denton is suspended from her duties as HOA president pending permanent removal by board vote. Residents will be notified of emergency elections. We apologize for any distress caused. Apparently, the emergency meeting lasted under an hour. Vote to remove her. 32-0. They didn't even need a second round. Word around the neighborhood was that Paula's real estate license was now under review. A few angry homeowners had filed formal complaints about past threats and shady fines. Her agency put her on leave, pending further investigation. A month after that, I ran into her at the local grocery store. Or rather, I nearly did. She spotted me first and abandoned a full cart of groceries to scuttle for the exit, sunglasses half slipping off her nose. She wouldn't even meet my eyes. The neighbors smiled at me now. Kids waved when I drove past in the Rolls-Royce. A few people even joked about wanting to borrow my car to scare the next HOA president straight. Sometimes I think about that day, how a simple parking job turned into a showdown with a petty tyrant. How she was so certain my success must have been stolen. How she never imagined that she'd be the one leaving the block in a police cruiser. It didn't take an expensive lawyer or a viral video. Just patience, the truth, and a few neighbors brave enough to speak up. Now, when I pull into Willow Ridge Court, I park my car proudly. No more flapping cardigans on patrol. No more barking accusations. Just a quiet, Beautiful cul-de-sac where even a young entrepreneur can own a dream car without someone calling the cops. And if they do, well, they can take it up with Paula Dinnan's arrest record.